Yeah. Hello. Welcome. There are a few things I need to sort. I'm doing the tech and the program together, so there'll be a few mishaps are expected.
You'll manage.
So last week we were playing a speech where Shri Mataji was talking about the first two energy centers. So for some reason I was reading about Elvis Presley today. I read it in the news that his daughter is writing in memoir. The wife hadn't finished.
Yeah.
Because, I grew up in India, you don't really hear about Elvis Presley. You hear about MS Subbulakshmi and those kind of people. So I was like, I want to check what is. And then apparently, you know anything about him, John? Oh, okay. And you, David, you know Elvis Presley?
Oh, the name.
The name, yeah?
Yeah. I grew up with him.
You grew up with him, yeah. Because then I did a bit of research and I figured he wasn't really born into any sort of royalty.
No.
He had a pretty rough life.
He did.
And then he must have had some sort of either the smarts or the magnetism, whatever he did to.
There was the songs.
The songs. And then I did a bit of research and I figured out he wrote some songs about God. Apparently in the church, he learned how to do the guitar and the pastor helped him and all that. And then I kept reading in the Wikipedia. And then he went to there and then he falls.
Yeah.
So he died at 42.
Yeah, very early.
And then I figured from there that he got into drugs and so on. Yeah. Then I was wondering, how can somebody who was singing songs of God belong to a religious denomination and then fall from there? And then and somehow it's sort of related to what Shri Mataji is talking about, drugs and so on. So the speech that we're going to listen today is from 1981 and Elvis passed away 1977. So then I was wondering, it's probably in that area where Shri Mataji was talking about young people losing the way and that sort of thing. So quite often we sort of detach this whole meditation thing being a separate thing to a real life.
No.
But often they are connected, isn't it?
Very much connected. particularly the Sahaja meditation. It is life. It's part of you.
You wanted to talk a little bit more about the speech today? Or?
Well, this is in the Maccabean Hall in Sydney when Shri Mataji first came to Australia. On her first trip in 1981, she did a series of talks. I believe on this she speaks about first 4 chakras. I think this one's about the Nabi.
Yep.
Talks about the Guru, which is a very important quality for us, and also the Swadhisthana, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Nabi, and Void. And I think with the other ones later on, she spoke about the other chakras. She was quite, in those first few years of her touring, she was quite giving of information about the chakras, and which you could learn a lot from. But this is 1981 when she first came to Australia in Sydney.
Mm. And we're already talking about chakras and so on, so I thought I might give a little intro into that. So on your screen, you'll see this, what we call the subtle system. It's on the screen. For those of you who came newer, there are a couple who are here first time. So we'll give a quick introduction. The theory can be endless, but I suppose you're coming here to have the experience. So in Sahaja Yoga meditation, Shri Mataji says you reach the fountain first and then build the foundations later.
Foundation.
So what you see in front of you is what we call the subtle system. In that subtle system, we have something called the Kundalini energy, which you see at the bottom of the picture in the form of the coil, 3.5 coils. And then you have the 7 energy centers. And then you have the 3 energy channels, the center, left, and the right. We can come back to the details of it. But why Shri Mataji is very special is that she's the only one that in the last 100 years or forever even, is that she has given the keys of your subtle system to yourself without expecting anything in return. In fact, that is something that comes as a surprise to a lot of people. How can you give something without expecting in return? Well, she is special. And you'll find out why after you have this process called the process of self-realization. And what you'll realize after that process is that each of these energy centers is represented in your fingertips, as you see in the numbering scheme there. So you see there is number 6 at the forehead and is also number 6 on your hands. So it literally your hands will speak about the problems you have and the opportunity to correct them. That's probably enough to talk about the technicality of the subtle system. So what we'll do is we'll play the speech and then we will go through the process of self-realization, and then we'll have a couple of meditation sessions. Right. So let's listen to the speech. So this is part 2 of the speech. At the end of the program, we'll show you the link, which you can use to listen to the first part. But you're not really missing out. It's not like if you didn't attend the part 1, you can't understand part 2. They're sort of independent. All right, let's play it.
They should not be taken. He's very clearly said it. Abraham said the same thing, that drinks are not good. Why all these prophets talk about it? Because they are all born in that green patch of ours. They are all placed in this green patch where we get our sustenance, which is 10. We have got 10 sustenances within us, like the gold has a sustenance that it does not tarnish. In the same way, human beings have got 10 sustenances. And these 10 sustenances are represented by great prophets. The principal is called as Adi Guru in Sanskrit language, the primordial master. He has incarnated on this earth as Abraham, Moses, as Lao Tse, as Confucius, as Socrates. Recently he has been as Sainath of Shirdi, not the other fellow, and other great people have been like Nanaka, Janaka. All these great saints came on this earth to tell us how to keep in the center, how to keep our sustenance, how to be human beings. As carbon has got 4 valencies, we too have got 10 valencies. We have to maintain those 10 valencies within us. That's what they came to tell us. But you see, if anybody says now, you don't drink, half of the hall will be empty. If you say you cannot have free sex, 5 people will walk off. That's the problem. Here nobody likes to know anything about it, but it's a dangerous thing to do. Whatever it is that you have to keep in the center. You have to be in the center. And how to keep in the center is not to go to extreme, be moderate. And moderate life is the best way. But even if you have not been, doesn't matter. Kundalini is at this point in such a force that whatever you might have done, you get your realization quite all right. So it's a different point. But what I'm trying to tell you is this, that why these people said so. Why they said, now Muhammad Sahib is another one who said don't drink. He's one of them. He's just the same. There's no difference. There's no difference between Moses and Muhammad Sahib. I can prove it to you on vibrations. You can yourself know through vibrations that they were the same people, said the same thing. There's no difference of any kind. It's only people are fighting, I don't know why. I just can't understand what is there to fight between these two. They were just the same, preached the same thing, and when Moses crossed the river and the bridge was made, that bridge is the bridge which is symbolic of the Kundalini that fares for you to cross this void within us. It's very symbolic. They have worked so hard to tell you what is sustenance, where we have to be in the center. Because if you are in the sustenance, as he said, that only a thread of this Kundalini rises. It is not one thread that should rise. Actually, I've seen in people, the whole of it goes up like that and stays there in many people. But the trouble is, it rises because there's no space to rise. We have finished off with the Swadhisthana and with the another chakra which is in the center, which is the color is wrong. All right. In the center, that is the called as Nabhi chakra, means a navel center. So when you have an obstruction in the center, naturally the Kundalini, though it rises with full force, all the threads fall down, and only one somehow or other goes up and opens up the Sahasrara, thinking that at least if I open up there, then the grace will fall and maybe it will open out more. So this is the problem. That's why they said that you lead a life which is moderate and temperate. And this is what they preach to. Now let us see what happens when we go to extremes. In the center, as you have seen, is the sustenance within us. Now if you try to go beyond this side or that side, what happens? Let us see. Beyond this side is the subconscious. If you go, you enter into the collective subconscious. On the other side, if you move, that is the supraconscious, you enter into collective supraconscious. Now into this side are all the people, on the left side are the people who are still dissatisfied, very sly, sinister, horrible people who are dead, who do not want to take birth and who still want to torture people are still existing there. These are busybodies. They can possess you. They do possess. And on the right hand side there are people like Hitler who are very ambitious, who have died out of their ambitions and things like that. They still exist there. Either you enter into this side or either you enter into that side when you go to extremes and you just get possessed. It's a very dangerous area we are entering into. Recently I was seeing a BBC program and some doctors had discovered a very interesting thing. They said that cancer is triggered, listen to this very carefully, cancer is triggered by some proteins, they call it protein 58, protein 56 or something like that. When these proteins attack us from some unknown areas within us, which are built within us since our creation. What are these areas? I mean, this I've been telling for so many years, is the left side and the right side, the two extremes. Now what do we do when we go to the right side? Right side is the area where you think too much, where you project yourself in the future. Now like that you go on, then you start becoming a person who is more interested in the future than in the present. The center is the present. Now you start projecting your mind into that. When you start projecting your mind too much into that, you start moving into that side. With that, anybody who is an austere person, they think that if you are a very austere person, you lead a life of celibacy and all these nonsensical things, you see. All this is absolutely nonsensical. If you lead a life of celibacy, it's not going to help you at all. On the contrary, such a person becomes an extremely dry personality and ultimately dies of heart attack. And such a person is so hard-headed, so hot-tempered, that you must take a barge pole before you meet such a person. They are so cursing type, I mean so unaware of other people's health or anything, that they can curse anyone. And this is their job, is to curse this one and curse that one and curse that one. They're extremely dry people. They might take to social work in the name of God. Oh, they'll work like hell for the poor. They're thinking they're saving the poor and doing this and that. And while if you see them any other time, you'll be sure that such a person is absolutely burning with fire. They have a horrible liver, very hot temper. There's no sweetness about them. There's no magnetism about them. All the people run away from them. They're like Boy Scouts, you see, sitting on everybody's head. Do this, do that, you haven't done this, what are you doing? They will not sleep themselves and not allow anybody to sleep. They think that everybody is supposed to work under their thumb, and these are the people who are very ego-oriented, as shown there, are the people who move on to the right-hand side. Any austere ideas about religion can take you to this side. And this austerity is very dangerous for human beings because it cuts you off from the whole. Such a person may be entrapped or possessed by some sort of a personality on the right-hand side. I know of a lady who is very well known in India and who's got a big prize and this and that for her social work. I happened to see her first time on an aeroplane when she had no prizes and all that. She came with some sort of an odd stuff with her and she wanted to sit in the front seat. So the air hostess said, I'm sorry, this is reserved for some children who are sick and they have to go by this plane and we can't give you this. And the mother is there. She started fighting with the mother, how many sick have you cured? What do you think of yourself? And this and that. And she was just jumping from here to there and there to there and there to there. And she wouldn't allow the plane to leave. And for half an hour she was fighting to sit down there. And the amount of abuses she used for the air hostess, I was amazed. And she's supposed to be a woman who should be given a peace prize or something like that. I don't know, there was no peace on her face, neither around her, and everybody was so disturbed with the way she was on about it. It was really shocking to see this personality who was so hot-tempered and so meticulous about things. And she was arguing with her, this was my seat, and this was this, and this was that. Thank God, then they got her out, and the plane left the place. But I'm telling you, such people can be so frantically hot-tempered and can be so unaware of your presence there that you have to be very, very careful with them. Such people may look to be very, very successful in life, you see. And when they walk, they have a upper lip and all sorts of things, you see. But it takes no time for them to realize that it's all tomfoolery going on. This kind of ego orientation can lead you to nothing but stupidity. A person can be extremely stupid and he doesn't know he has been, how stupid he has been. Because he says, what's wrong? You see, a gentleman came to see us And he had a wife, she was only 16 years of age, and the fellow was 80 years of age, you see. Naturally, I felt he must be the grandfather, you see. So I said, is she your grandmother, granddaughter? So my husband pinched me. He said, that's his wife. I said, really? I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know she was a... What's wrong? I can have a wife who is 2-year-old. What's wrong in it? I said, nothing wrong. Only thing people will laugh at you. That's all. All sorts of stupid things people do in this world. And they think, what's wrong? This is the best way to get along with your stupidity, till they discover that you are the greatest stupid person going wrong. Now this stupidity comes from this ego going up and surrounding your brain completely. You cannot see anything else. You just see yourself. My room, my house, my. You cannot see that there are others, that you owe some sort of a relationship to others, that you have to be kind to them, that you have to share things with them. You all the time think about yourself. And such people get possessed by supraconscious style. What happens in spirituality with such people? They start feeling their body is lying here and they go up and sit on a tree. They think it is realization or enlightenment. Just imagine. This is nothing but a supraconscious spirit has entered and taken the body away and put it there. I told you 3 Americans coming from America, and they were known to be very big scientists. They came to see me and they said, Mother, you have to teach us one thing. I said, what? We want to fly. I said, fly? You are already flying. What do you want to fly? They said, no, but we want to fly with ESP. I said, you should not do that. Because if you do that, then you are enslaved by these spirits. And you do want to do that, to be enslaved by these spirits? Yes, whatever it is. Enslavement or anything. We want to have this, and we want to get this by which we fly. I said, why? They said, because Russia is doing it. And Russians are doing experiments with ESP, so we should also do. I said, if they are going to hell, are you also going to go to hell? They said, yes. What's wrong? I said, nothing wrong. Go with 2 running jumps. You can go very fast there. But as far as I am concerned, I am not for it. I am not going to doom your life forever. So then they asked me, I asked him, who has sent you to me? They said, one Patanjali. You see, there is a fellow called Patanjali who is a journalist. I said, this Patanjali has sent you? Yes, he has sent us to you. He was the man who used to leave his body and run all over the places. He was a journalist, you see, so he used to get the news before anybody knew. And he used to run out of his house, and the wife was so surprised that one day he brought some sand. And he said, yesterday, you know where I was? I was on the Juhu beach. From there I brought the sand for you. She got such a fright, and he used to shake before. Any photograph of God or Christ or anyone, he used to shake like that. So she brought to me, she said, this fellow is shaking. I don't know what's happening. He's rattling. Is it Parkinson's thing? I don't know what's happening. And here in the night he disappears. I lock up everything, still he disappears. I don't know what to do. And it's very shocking. He said, sometimes I go and sit on a tree. I said, really? So I told him that you are possessed. He said, Mother, please take away. I don't want this nonsense. You don't know where I will end up. Tomorrow I'll be anywhere hanging in the air. I don't want to do that. And maybe that my body may not come back. And this is what people are doing now, is to take out the spirits. When they take out the spirit from a person, you see, they keep it with them. Like the children, the small children die in their sleep. If my mother is here and she has a child in America, she says, I want to talk to my child through a medium. It's a very dangerous thing. Never play with these mediums, very dangerous. And such a mother I know in Switzerland, she did that to a child, and the child died in America, in her sleep, because the distance is such that where there is day, there is night. And she was doing this in the daytime, and the child was sleeping. And she talked to the child, she heard his voice, everything she did, and the child died. Never go near these people who deal with spirits, is said by all the great people of the world. But we are not bothered. You see what's wrong? We go to spirits, to ESPs, to our elders who are dead, to our brothers and sisters. Why bother them? Now they are dead. Let them be free, as it is you tortured their lives when they lived on this earth. Now why don't you leave them free? Let them go and take their births. But we are not satisfied. We say, no, we must talk to them. We have planchets, we hold hands, call spirits and do it. But do you know what happens with that? First of all, no realization. Very difficult for such people. Even if you get realization and all that, you have lots of problems. I have seen people go mad with it. Because these spirits are dirty things. Supposing you have called me, I'm an Indian. So now you are exposed to India. You must know you are exposed to India. And you have no control over the people who are coming down from these areas, and you are just encouraged. They possess you. They possess you, your family, everything. And it's a fact that these horrible things that act or that call or that try to show that they are helping you are the people who are just taking money from you.
I was saying that was a bit full on. I didn't know that those things exist, but I was at one job. I did hear somebody talking to this medium thing, kind of freaked me out. I'm sure nobody's going there. Please don't. If you're planning to cancel your appointment. Would you like to take us through the realization steps? Yeah. Okay. I'll take the TV away.
Just one comment. Shri Mataji has always been quite forthright in what are dangerous things as a human, and she's not afraid, because she's the type of person who will tell you what goes against us. And if it goes against the centre, we go too far left or right, and we can do that in many, many ways. We actually go against ourselves. We go against our actual evolution. So she's quite out there front. She's not afraid to say what the human beings need. And I've always admired her for that, because she's trying to help people, that we should not go to extremes. It's dangerous. Anyway, let's open our hands on our lap. And this is when we invite our Kundalini to rise, which is our mothering instrument within us to help clear the way for us to get into meditation. Keep our left hand open on our lap. Take our right hand and just place it on our heart. In our heart is that eternal quality, which is indestructible, silent, joyful. It's always there. It's like the nature of what exists. In the end, is beautiful. And we can say to ourselves, we can ask the question actually, am I the spirit? Which this is. It's in our heart, and that heartbeat reflects that quality. Am I the spirit? Take our right hand down to the left-hand side. This is where we ask the question, am I my own teacher? We can also ask, am I my own master or guru? Take the right hand down to where the leg joins the body. This is where the creativity sits within us in all its forms, in knowledge, the ability to make and do. And here we ask the question, am I the pure knowledge, that knowledge which is there for our benevolence. And we can reassure ourselves, yes, I am that knowledge. It is there to know. Take that right hand back to the left-hand side, the void area, and we can say, I am my own teacher. We have to become that. We have that ability to understand ourselves. Because this is what the real yoga, the real second birth or enlightenment gives us, is the ability to be our own teacher. It gives us the ability to know ourselves. And back to the heart. We are the spirit. We're not the past. We're not the future. We are the eternal present, which is the quality of the spirit. And that's in our heart. And we evolve towards that to receive it. I am the spirit. We take our right hand up to where our left shoulder joins the neck. And here, I forgive myself. I am not guilty. Guilt can weigh on us. Something may have happened in the past. Whatever it may be, I am not guilty. I am not guilty. We take our right hand to the back of our head. This is where we forgive ourselves. If I've done anything wrong in the past, we have to let it go and forgive ourselves. We can learn from our mistakes, but we don't carry them. I forgive myself. That helps lighten our left side. We let go of the past. I forgive myself. We take that right hand across our forehead. And this is where our right side, our ego, sits. And here, I forgive everyone. It helps us to be humble. It helps us to stand evenly with each other. I forgive. One of our great qualities. I forgive everyone. Please make me a forgiving person. Now take that right hand and place the palm of it on the top, the fontanelle. That's the name of the bone, the top of the skull, and it means small fountain. This is where the Kundalini comes out as a fountain. And here we ask, please open my Sahasrara, my fontanelle. Please establish my self-realization. Please strengthen my yoga. We're asking the Kundalini, the mothering energy, to break through, to strengthen. Lift our hands slightly up to see if we can feel that cool breeze there. Keep our attention up there just for a few moments, bringing our right hand back to our lap. Place our attention above our head. And if the attention does wander, I forgive. We can take our right hand and run it up the front of the body just slowly, following the spine. And just lift our Kundalini. She's intelligent. She responds to this. Feel for her again at the top. And just keep our attention there for a while. I forgive. Lift our Kundalini again. Just check again up the top. Because once you feel this silence and it's established, it can take a while. There's no better place to be. You're actually living quietly in the present.
Slowly open our eyes and look at the picture on your screen. So what Philip did just now should have let that Kundalini energy at the bottom of your spine go up to the top energy center. What you also notice in the picture is the left and the right. So the yellow channel and the blue channel. So what we can do now is we can clear the channels. And the reason why we want to do that is the blue channel, when it is out of balance, pushes us into the region of depression, usually a negative self-harming kind of ideas. And then the right channel, when it is out of balance, it takes us into aggression, which mostly means people don't want to be with you because you just pull on. So we could clear them. The way we do that is you can just follow Philip's hands again. So we drop our right hand towards the ground. And we keep our attention on top of the head. And when our attention settles on top of the head, we say in our hearts, Mother, please remove all the problems in my left channel. Mother, please remove all the lethargy. That is preventing my spirit to reach the all-pervading energy around us. Mother, please remove all the negative thoughts. Let's bring our attention to the top of the head if it has moved around. Mother, please remove all the impure desires from my subtle system. On your fingertips on the left palm, observe if there are any particular fingers where you're feeling a bit of discomfort, where the cool breeze is not flowing. If it is so, then you ask again, Mother, please remove all the catches from that finger, whatever finger it might be. Mother, please remove all the catches on my left channel. Put your right hand on the lap and lift your left hand towards the sky with the fingertips pointing towards the ceiling. As you said, the imbalance in the right channel takes us towards the extreme of aggression. Mother, please remove all the aggression towards myself and towards others. Mother, please remove all my tendency to pursue impure action. Let's bring our left hand back to the lap. Let's place our right hand, the center of the palm on top of the head. And here we ask, Mother, please establish my self-realization so I can experience thoughtless awareness. When your attention has settled on top of the head, you can bring your hand back to the lap. And let your attention rest on top of the head. And slowly open our eyes. So this raising, once you get your self-realization at home, what you do is raising Kundalini and taking a protection around us. So we could do that now, and then you can have a look and try and remember that until you come next time. See, your left hand goes up and your right hand goes around it. You make a knot on top of your head. You do that again. You take a couple of knots. Do that again. 3 knots this time. And after the knotting bit, you do the protection bit, which puts your put your hand around your. I'll show the video. Gosh, like that, and then you do a semicircle around you. You do that 7 times. So back and forth counts as 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's all we have for today. What you're saying before Philip is, when Mother talks, I saw a couple of people drop off after the talked about the spirits. It's pretty strong.
It is strong, and also one of the things we've got to realise today that a lot of the honesty is covered by the modern idea of honesty or political correctness. She came to really show people that there's things we do that go against our growth and evolution. We've got to realise that. And that comes down to each person. And she's always been quite forthright, but usually with a good sense of humour.
And you know, she takes her job so seriously, right?
She always has done. She always did.
I mean, when a child, I mean, for her, we're all children, like we can have beards and all that, but still little children. But I mean, I can't remember, I don't know if there is a mom who has a little child and the child is going and eating mud. The mom doesn't give a certificate for eating dirt.
Yeah.
He gets a bit of a...
The quality of the mother is very important. It's probably one of the supreme qualities.
Because when, I mean, I shouldn't have been reflecting, but I was, when people dropped off, it's kind of hard for people as well. Like, we live in a society where you get a certificate for turning up. And when somebody like Shri Mataji talks the truth like it is, it's pretty comforting, I suppose.
It is.
It is, can be.
Can be, yeah.
So if you have no questions, we'll see you next time. See you. Thanks, Philip.
Everything she says is for our benefit. We've got to realise that. And when you're in Sahaja Yoga quite a while, you realise that she's here to help us. People have come for generations to help us. We've ignored them to our peril. And
we ignore very proudly.
Yeah.
I can ignore
We're in
it.
a mess.
This is for our benefit.
Yeah, we're in a mess. And
This is Kundalini is for there for our benefit. That's the mother. Reflect. Yeah.
So I'll play some music for you, and then we'll stop the session.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you all next week.
Good night. Have a good week.
Have a good week, yes. Yeah.